Good morning and welcome everyone to today's webinar featuring PTC Therapeutics, a company with a long track record of commitment to identifying innovative therapies to treat Duchenne muscular dystrophy. Today's topic is an important one for patients and families as it focuses on EMFLAZA, a drug that is part of the standard of care for Duchenne patients. This year, we'll see some changes to the EMFLAZA landscape, and I'm delighted that PTC has taken time to reach out and inform the community of these changes in advance, to discuss ongoing access to EMFLAZA, their PTC Cares initiative, and other topics. We will not be answering questions directly from the audience today, but we'll take them and pass them on to the company for individual response if appropriate. Today's webinar will be available on our website as a resource for the community. So without further ado, it's my pleasure to hand it over to Frank Quintieri, PTC's Head of Patient Engagement, to get the webinar started by introducing himself and the PTC team. Over to you, Frank.
Thank you, Dr. Kelly. So I'm happy to kick things off here, and thank you all for joining today. We're going to talk, as Dr. Kelly said, about EMFLAZA and the landscape in 2024. My name's Frank Quintieri, and I head our patient engagement team here in the U.S. After I give an opener and some slides, I'll hand things off to Tasia, who heads our marketing department, and then Greg, who heads our patient services department, also known as PTC Cares. So I'll briefly go over the agenda. Again, our introductions, Tasia will cover the dispenses written discussion and generics, and then Greg will end with PTC Cares. So PTC is a company, if you're unfamiliar with us, hopefully you all are all familiar with PTC at this point, but we are the makers of EMFLAZA, and we were established in 1998 out of New Jersey. We're actively involved in drug discovery and development for rare diseases, primarily in neurologic and metabolic conditions. And we really pride ourselves in being close to the communities we work with, especially the Duchenne community. So as you see at the bottom of our the third bullet point there, we pride ourselves in being there and being there together with our communities. So this is a little bit of the timeline with PTC. You can see early on in the days of discovery with Adalorin, it's another product for Duchenne muscular dystrophy that we're working with the FDA on currently. Those trials started early in the late 90s. So really PTC is a forefather of discovery and trials in Duchenne. So we take pride in that, being early in discovery with Duchenne and setting some of the standards. And then you see in later years in 2017 and 18, that's when EMFLAZA came on board. And so we're going to focus primarily on EMFLAZA for this webinar. So with that being said, since EMFLAZA is FDA approved, I need to cover off on just high level 2 slides on important safety information, as we call it. And I'll just briefly go over these, and then there's more information on EMFLAZA.com should you want to dive deeper into the safety information. But EMFLAZA is indicated for patients with Duchenne muscular dystrophy, 2 years of age and older. You should not take EMFLAZA if you have any allergic reactions to deflazacort or its active ingredients. EMFLAZA can cause endocrine changes in endocrine function, so be aware of that and don't abruptly stop taking EMFLAZA. There is an increased risk of infection, and it can cause increases in blood pressure or water retention. Also, behavioral changes and mood changes have been reported with EMFLAZA. The second slide here of the safety information, just so you're aware, it may cause cataracts or glaucoma, so we encourage you to discuss with your healthcare provider, and they should be monitoring that as well. Important things you should tell your healthcare provider: make sure to discuss fully your medical conditions prior to starting EMFLAZA. And the list at the bottom there, the list of potential side effects with EMFLAZA are listed. If you do experience any of these side effects, please report them to the numbers below, the adverse event phone number, or you can email at usmedinfo@ptcbio.com, or you can report directly to the FDA at those numbers below. And again, that information is found at EMFLAZA.com. So what you see here is our patient engagement team. This is our what we call our field-based team, so our U.S. team that is spread throughout the U.S. And the ideal there, the intention is that we're able to be at regional and local meetings within the Duchenne community when they occur. So hopefully you've had the opportunity to meet with some of us over the years. And we do have 2 members that are bilingual, Spanish and English speaking. So we take pride in that and serving the Spanish speaking community as well. So the patient engagement team is really the eyes and the ears to the Duchenne community for PTC. And we pride ourselves in collaborating with the patient advocacy groups, being there for making connections with families that have a need, and they may just need to be connected to the right resource within the community, and also empowering through education and educational opportunities. And speaking of education, this is our slide. We've got a couple of educational platforms that we've developed over the years. You may have joined one previously called Navigating Duchenne. We also now have the Insightful Moments educational platform. So if you're interested in either making a connection with patient engagement team, our email address is right there in the middle, patientengagement@ptcbio.com. We can make the connection and make you aware of upcoming educational programs that are all free of charge, and we do a lot virtually now through the Zoom format. You can also reach us at the phone numbers below, 1-833-PTC-HOPE, or in Spanish, 833-PTC-VIDA. So I will hand things over to Tasia, our head of marketing, to discuss EMFLAZA in more depth. Thank you, Tasia.
Thank you, Frank. Good afternoon, everyone. As Frank said, my name is Tasia, and I lead the marketing team here at PTC. So there have been a number of changes in the EMFLAZA landscape in 2024. First, we asked you to update your insurance information with PTC Cares over the break and in early January so that we can work with your provider to keep you on EMFLAZA throughout the year. Second, EMFLAZA is facing loss of exclusivity in February 2024. This means that a generic version of EMFLAZA called deflazacort can be sold by other companies. Now, we don't know yet if a generic will enter the market in February or at a later date in the year. A generic and EMFLAZA generic and EMFLAZA can have some differences, such as different inactive ingredients and different types of support offerings. Some generics, especially specialty drugs, can have higher out-of-pocket copay amounts for patients and families. Therefore, once a generic is available and you still want to stay on EMFLAZA, you can request what's known as Dispense as Written, or DAW. Let me quickly talk about DAW. DAW empowers you to stay on EMFLAZA by speaking with your doctor or your pharmacy. There are 2 ways to request Dispense as Written, or DAW. DAW1, or Dispense as Written 1, is a provider request or something your doctor signs on their prescription form so that you or your child can stay on EMFLAZA. DAW2, on the other hand, is a direct request you can make with the pharmacy so you can stay on branded EMFLAZA if you feel that this is the right decision for you and your family. So there are 2 different ways that your doctor can request Dispense as Written. PTC has been working over the last 6 months with the doctor's offices to help them understand DAW, or Dispense as Written. Physicians have been trained to sign DAW on the EMFLAZA patient start form and also indicate that they cannot substitute a generic product for EMFLAZA. Second, physicians' offices sometimes use electronic prescribing for refilling prescriptions. To ensure substitution does not occur, they can also indicate Dispense as Written on our platform or system. So there's 2 different ways that physicians' offices can ensure that your child stays on EMFLAZA. I will now hand it over to Greg to talk about PTC Cares.
Thank you, Tasia. So as Teja mentioned, I'm Greg Iovine, and I had the pleasure of heading up patient services here at PTC and working with the 16 amazing PTC Cares case managers that most of you probably know. Our team has a wide range of experience in case management, medical billing and coding, as former HCP office personnel, as pharmacy technicians, and together they could basically solve, any reimbursement issue that you may face, including assisting you in staying on EMFLAZA if your doctor, pharmacy, or insurance makes a change to generic. There are not many problems that they have not seen at this point, and they'll assist you from beginning of your journey with EMFLAZA through helping you stay on EMFLAZA. 5 of our case managers are fluent Spanish speakers, so if that is your preferred language, they'll be more than happy and easily be able to assist you. Each case manager is a single point of contact for patients and doctors. So you'll be working with the case manager, overseeing you or your son's case, in the event that your case manager is not there, any case manager will be able to assist you and will be happy to do so. So this is our suite of services for our copay, our patient assistance program, and it's in place to ensure your access to EMFLAZA continues. So our copay assistance program is for patients enrolled with PTC Cares who have commercial insurance, and they'll have as little as a $0 copay. Our bridge program, it's in place for patients that might be experiencing barriers set by their insurance. It allows us to give a temporary supply of EMFLAZA to you while we work with you and your doctor, getting through that insurance barrier. And then there's our EMFLAZA Start program, and this is for patients that are re-enrolling with PTC Cares that might have been switched over to a generic and are looking to come back to EMFLAZA. This will enable us to start you quickly or restart you quickly. And if this is something that you'd be interested in, you'd be able to speak to your doctor about that and as far as requirements. So just wrapping up, as generic becomes available for EMFLAZA and, doctors and insurances are making changes, there's an amazing team of case managers and a patient assistance program that's in place that's ready to assist you to stay on EMFLAZA or come back to EMFLAZA. In the next coming months, if the pharmacy reaches out to you to schedule a refill, or you receive a refill from the pharmacy and you see anything except EMFLAZA, don't hesitate to give us a call at PTC Cares and speak to your case manager. You can give a call to 844-478-2227. Thank you.
Greg, thank you for that. Very much appreciated. Couple of very brief follow-up questions. For an individual who's currently on EMFLAZA, will they still have access to the drug even after a generic is available?
Yes. So PTC is going to continue to manufacture EMFLAZA and supply it, and it's our top priority to make sure that patients do have access to it.
Thank you for that. And I'm going to assume that even when the generic drug is available, it won't impact an individual's current prescription for EMFLAZA from PTC.
Yeah. At this time, your EMFLAZA prescription will not change, and it should not be impacted. However, after February of 24, if you notice or receive deflazacort instead of EMFLAZA, or you receive a bottle that does not have the EMFLAZA logo on it, you can call your son's healthcare provider, the doctor, and ask them to indicate Dispense as written on your prescription, or DAW. And that way the pharmacist at the pharmacy will know to give you EMFLAZA or keep it the same.
Excellent. And an important one I'm sure people are focused in on, will there still be access to PTC Cares after a generic is available?
Yes, there will be access to PTC Cares, and you'll still have access to your case manager, who will be more than happy to help you navigate the insurance process, or review any out-of-pocket costs, or provide educational resources and support to you in the event that you need it.
Excellent. Thanks for those, Greg. I really appreciate the really efficient use of time here by the team. It's unusual to have something run through so quickly. I'm going to take a moment just to thank everybody for joining today's webinar. And special thanks to Frank, Greg, and Tija, and the whole team behind them at PTC, taking time out to inform the community and prepare them in advance for the upcoming changes to EMFLAZA. It's comforting, I got to say, to see how much work PTC is doing right now and has done over the last many months to prepare for 2024. The community greatly appreciates your commitment to Duchenne and your efforts to develop innovative treatments for all patients. And with that, the webinar is now finished. Thank you, everyone who attended, and have a great rest of your day.
Thanks for having us.